Hi guys. Today I'm telling you about the history of gold. Before being a metal, gold is more like a concept or a symbol. And actually, in our modern world today, like for most of the civilizations that flourished around the world in the past, gold has been charged with a very significant symbolism as a representation of wealth, of course, but also beauty, luxury, divinity, economic power. And what I would like to explore with you today is how and why gold has acquired this very special status in our vision of the world, how fabulous works of art were created to glorify our appetite for it, how sometimes gold, or more precisely, our desire for gold, has changed the course of history. If you think about the myth of the El Dorado or the gold rushes of the 19th century, all of these subjects I would like to discuss with you today. It is not going to be exhaustive, of course, but as usual, I hope you will find it informative and relaxing too. Why is gold so fascinating for men, and this almost universally? Actually, gold as a metal is useless. It has a few industrial applications today, like in dentistry or electronics, but this is fairly recent, and during most of the history of man, gold was appreciated for other reasons. Maybe there are two of them. The first is that gold is shiny, and its color reminds of the color of the sun. For early civilizations, the cult of the sun was something almost natural, and gold was the matter that best represented this natural divinity on earth that was accessible, that could be acquired, giving a feeling to men that they were possessing, acquiring a part of divinity. But the second thing that distinguishes gold from the first metals that were discovered and exploited by man is that gold is almost inalterable. It doesn't suffer from any kind of oxidation. It does not react to acids, and thanks to this, gold always keeps its aspect, making it appear as a eternal kind of matter, resisting to anything, and then the best manifestation in our material world of the concept of divinity. Gold was rare too. It has been exploited since millenniums before Christ. The first objects made of gold were found in tombs in the Balkans, what corresponds to Bulgaria today, and are dated about 5 millenniums before Christ. And what continues to fascinate us today is that these gold objects, when we discover them, are strictly identical to what they were millenniums ago when they were crafted. In particular, if you have an opportunity one day to see Egyptian antiques made of gold, I'm thinking in particular about the mortuary masks, like the mask of Tutankhamun that can be seen at the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, in Egypt. The very impressive thing with these objects that were made millenniums ago is that they look perfectly new, perfectly clean, as if they had been put in a time machine and had reached us as a vivid testimony of our ancestors. The association between gold and religion or divinity is something extremely ancient. Maybe the first uses of gold were references to the invisible world, the world of gods, to which men were trying to connect. The Egyptians charged gold with a lot of mystical and religious significance. In fact, a large part of gold was buried with nobles and pharaohs of the ancient Egypt, and this appeal of religion for gold would continue in the following millenniums. Maybe for symbolic reasons. As we said, gold has properties that seem to be of divine origin, but also probably for political reasons, because organized religions were political powers too, and were using gold to show this power and reinforce it. This was true in ancient Egypt, and actually continued with other religions that would appear at later stages in history. Buddhism has a long tradition of liking gold. Actually, the biggest gold statue in the world today is a statue of Buddha that is in Bangkok, Thailand. And if you had a chance to travel to Southeast Asia and see the pagodas in Birmania or in Cambodia, Thailand, you will see the incredible quantity of gold that has been accumulated by the believers as gifts, generation after generation, century after century. Hinduism also gives a special status to gold. Actually, there is a goddess of gold and wealth, Lakshmi, who is revered by Hinduists and praised to bring fortune and material well-being. The ancient Greeks, the Romans, also used gold generously to decorate temples and monotheists religions, Judaism, Christianism, Islam, have all been using and referencing gold as a symbol of God. From gilded domes of mosques to statues made of gold in Christian cathedrals, gold has been used as a proof, a manifestation of faith, and as an offering to God. But there has always been an ambivalence in this association of gold with religion. Gold can be a proof of faith and an offering, but it also represents wealth in a very obvious way, and this association of religion and wealth is something that would be criticized and ambiguous over the centuries. If gold symbolizes wealth, it also represents greed and the immoderate appetite for material wealth. And there are various reactions in history to the display of wealth by religions. A very famous one for monotheist religions is the story of the golden calf, which was a symbol of idolatry, a cult image that had been created and that replaced the true adoration of God. And actually, monotheist religions are very ambivalent with the display of wealth or images to which the believers vow a cult, because there is always this fear that the cult itself would go not to God directly, but to representations that are made by men. This can go as far as the avoidance of any representation of God or beings in Islam, but even in Christianism there has been various reactions in history to the creation of images, reactions that are called iconoclasm, and that were a will to eliminate these representations, these images that would actually turn the believers away from the true faith. But coming back to gold itself, as you see, this metal has long been associated with faith and transcendence. Gold was also used as a mean of payment since the antiquity. The first traces of the use of gold for coinage date back from the 7th century before Christ in the Greek world, something that would develop in the following centuries. And because for most of men gold was such an important symbol, various legends, myths developed around gold. Just to name a few, you have the legend of King Midas from the antiquity. And here again, the ambivalence of gold as a symbol of material wealth appears in this myth. What this myth or this legend says is that King Midas had received a gift. He could turn into gold anything he would touch, but after realizing with great satisfaction that he was able to turn anything into gold, he became aware that even the food he was trying to eat was turning into gold, and that he was at risk of dying of starvation. So that this capacity to turn things into gold was more like a curse than a gift, and he had to beg the gods to take this curse away from him. The myth developed in the centuries, and in the Middle Age we have the Alchemists, who were persons believing that lead could be turned into gold through pseudo-scientific manipulations, and this belief in alchemy that often came with the belief in astrology or other occult sciences developed and still exists today. I also told you that gold would be something that could change the course of history, and this has to see with the legends that developed around gold. For example, when the Spanish explorators reached South America, they heard or invented legends saying that cities made of gold, or even an entire country made of gold, would exist somewhere in South America, and this appetite for gold was strong enough to lead to the creation of expeditions in the 16th century to try and find these mysterious cities of gold somewhere in South America. This appetite for gold was also one of the main motivations for the invasion of pre-Columbian empires. The Aztecs in Mexico, the Incas in what is Peru today, and even though no cities of gold were discovered, the Spanish expeditions seized huge quantities of gold that were sent to Spain and contributed to the wealth and influence of the Kingdom of Spain in the 16th century. If you visit Spain, in particular a city like Sevilla in the south of Spain, this was the main port through which trade was flowing with the Spanish colonial empire, and the fleet of gold was bringing back silver and gold from the Americas every year to the Spanish crown. You will see remains of this time when huge cargoes of gold were brought back from the Americas and turned into magnificent statues that can be seen in the Cathedral of Sevilla or churches in Spain, even though most of this gold, and here again we see that gold can be a curse too, was used to finance the never-ending wars of Spain in the 16th and 17th centuries, which finally left the country in complete bankruptcy and ruin just a few decades later. The moves of population were also highly influenced by the gold rushes of the 19th century. For regions of the world like Georgia in the 1830s, like California from 1848, or Australia in the 1850s, gold rushes have been events that have dramatically modified the course of history. For example, in California, the gold rush of the end of the 1840s radically transformed California from a demographic point of view, and made new cities such as San Francisco, for example, appear from almost nothing in a matter of years. In Australia, in the 1850s, it is estimated that the population quadrupled just thanks or because of this gold rush that took place. And other events of the same kind happened in Canada, in South Africa in the 19th century, contributing to massive migrations around the world. The impact of these gold rushes was important for the entire world, actually, because they led to sudden increases in the quantity of gold that was available. And I'm not going to enter explanations about the monetary systems of the past centuries, but for various centuries, gold was the basis of the monetary system. The currencies, coins or banknotes, could be turned into gold at any time. They were convertible, and the value of the currencies was not only based on trust in a central bank and a political structure like today. They were directly convertible into gold, which permitted historically to establish the value of monies and develop the economies. If you look at how much gold was produced in history, you realize that actually the century of gold was the 20th century. Almost 75%, 3/4 of gold that was extracted by man was extracted after 1910, because the ever-growing appetite for gold in jewelry, in investment, has led to an industrialization of gold extraction since the 20th century. And gold extraction today continues at high speed, with a very strong demand for jewelry and investment. I told you at the beginning that there were industrial applications for gold, but they only represent 10% of demand for this metal, the rest being investment and jewelry. In particular, in countries that have a long tradition of investing in gold as a way to protect one's patrimony. India is probably the country of gold today. It is estimated that about 100,000 tons, 100,000, have been extracted since the beginning of historic times, and out of this, 15,000 tons would be in India today, spread among the population. If you try and figure out what quantity of gold was extracted since man discovered this metal, you have to imagine a cube of 20 meters of side approximately, which is the size of a building of about 7 floors in terms of volume, and this represents the entire stock of gold that is spread on the whole planet today. Given that most of the gold the man will be able to extract from the ground is from extraterrestrial origin. It came mainly from meteorites that hit the Earth around 4 billion years ago, and that creating gold is impossible in nature. It is technically possible for man, but at such a cost, because it is necessary to transform atoms of mercury into gold, atom per atom, and at an incredibly high cost in terms of energy. So the artificial creation of gold is very unlikely to become significant in the future. It is likely that gold will retain its reference role as a way to protect wealth, and for many more generations, men will probably continue to worship, to enjoy the possession of gold, for the better or the worse. This is it for today. Thank you for your attention, my friends, and see you soon. Bye bye.